I've got a real serious question. Does nobody in Canada want to sell their house right now? Because we're seeing home sales and home prices trending up, while the number of homes newly listed for sale and the total number of homes currently for sale is trending down. What gives? Hey there, and welcome to the monthly Canadian real estate market update here for the month of May on Bald Prairie Real Estate. My name is Matthew Pfeifer. I'm a real estate agent in Regina, and normally that would be my trusted assistant Matilda sitting in that chair, but currently she's on a call talking to somebody looking for a great real estate agent recommendation. That's right, if you look in the description of this video, there's a link to my calendar where you can book me in for a buyer's consultation, and I'm gonna get you paired up with the best real estate agent in your market. You're gonna see in the data in this month's video that home buyers in Canada have absolutely returned to the Canadian real estate market, but sellers, not so much. Now, I have some ideas as to why I think this is happening, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments below, why have buyers returned to the market and why have sellers not returned to the market? I'll compile the answers and we'll talk about that in next month's market update, and I'll give you some of my reasons why I think this is happening. But as we always do, let's start off with another terrible bad dad joke. What do lazy people do for exercises? Diddly squats. If you have a terrible joke that I can use in a future episode, put it in the comment section below. Let's get into this month's market update. In Victoria, 637 homes were sold in a month. That is up 3% from the 5-year average of 616 homes sold in the month. The just about 1,100 homes newly listed for sale in the month is down 13% from the 5-year average. Usually over 1,200 homes are newly listed for sale in the month. And currently it's just over 2,000 homes for sale in Victoria. That is down 8% from the 5-year average of over 2,200. So months of inventory is 3.2, just on the edge of a seller's market. The composite benchmark price in Victoria is $853,000. That is down 11% year over year. It's down 15% from the peak we saw in June of 2022 of just shy of $1 million. We're starting to see in Victoria what we've been seeing across the country, and that is sales picking back up while new listings and total inventory has been below the 5-year average. And that, of course, is putting upward pressure on home prices in Victoria. So like I said, 2 months in a row now that home prices have increased. If you're a seller in Victoria, this is an opportunity to get in where there's not very much competition. You're probably gonna get better dollar for your house than you could a couple of months ago. And if you're a buyer, you better be prepared that if it's a good house, it could receive multiple offers and it could sell over asking price. In Vancouver, there's over 2,700 homes sold in a month. That is down 4% from that 5-year average. Normally closer to 2,900 homes are sold in the month. But the 4,300 homes newly listed for sale is down 23% from that 5-year average. Usually closer to 5,600 homes would be newly listed for sale in the month. While the almost 8,800 homes currently for sale in Vancouver is down 20% from the 5-year average. Usually close to 11,000 homes would be for sale this time of year. So that means months of inventory is at 3.2, but the Vancouver real estate market continues to shift towards a seller's market. And when it comes to home prices in Vancouver, the composite benchmark price is $1.17 million. It's down 7.4% year over year and down 7.4% from the $1.26 million peak we saw exactly 1 year ago, but prices are up 5% from January. Generally in May is when we see home prices in Vancouver start to slow down. Actually, usually they've already started to slow down, but we're not seeing that this year. The 5% price increases we've seen since January, half of that happened just last month. When I'm talking to Vancouver real estate agents, what they've been telling me is that there's actually now some life back in the single family home market. That's a market that's been really quiet. We've seen the most price declines in Vancouver is there. Of course, the townhouses and the condos, that's where we're seeing the price increases. Well, now we're starting to see price increases in those single family homes. And while I don't cover the Fraser Valley in these market updates, when I'm talking to agents from the Fraser Valley, they're saying seeing 20 and 30 offers on good houses and places selling way over asking price, that's becoming commonplace again. If that doesn't tell you that this market can sustain higher interest rates and we're back into a seller's market, I'm not sure what does. The 2,700 homes sold in Calgary last month is up 31% over their 5-year average. Usually just over 2,000 homes sell in the month. But the 3,100 homes newly listed for sale is down 10% from their 5-year average. Usually close to 3,500 homes are put up for sale in the month. And this is where the numbers really start getting silly. There's less than 3,300 homes currently for sale in Calgary. That is down 51% from the 5-year average. Usually 6,500 or more homes are for sale this time of year. So months of inventory is 1.2. That is obviously a very strong seller's market. This is the tightest inventory situation across Canada right now. So not surprisingly, home prices in Calgary are increasing. That composite benchmark price is $550,000. Not only is it up 5% year over year, it's now an all-time record high in Calgary. When I call agents for their local agent insight, I ask them, what's a hot neighborhood? What's a cold neighborhood? Where are you seeing the most multiple offers, etc.? And in Calgary, the answer was basically everywhere is hot, Matt, right now. It is absolutely crazy. Good houses are seeing 50, 60 showings, 20, 30 offers. Some places are selling $100,000 or more over asking price. And kind of Calgary, that $500,000 and below has been considered affordable. The $500,000 and above has been more the higher end luxury side of the market in Calgary. Well, the higher end had been slow for a little while. That has picked back up. Even some of the smaller bedroom communities, acreages around Calgary, all that stuff is going pretty much bonkers right now. And I know for a buyer, it's frustrating right now. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Continue to focus on finding the right house for you, not just a house. If you are a seller and you've got your house on the market, it's not selling, there's a reason why it's not selling, and it's most likely price or condition. Look at fixing those two if that's the problem. In Edmonton, there were about 2,000 homes sold in a month. That is up 3% from the 5-year average of just under 2,000 homes that would be sold in a month. And the slightly less than 3,500 homes newly listed for sale is down 3% from their 5-year average. Usually about 3,600 homes are listed for sale in the month. While there's less than 7,000 homes currently for sale in Edmonton, that is down 16% from the 5-year average. Usually over 8,200 homes would be for sale this time of year. So months of inventory in Edmonton is 3.4, continues to trend back towards a seller's market. When it comes to home prices in Edmonton, the composite benchmark price is right around $380,000 right now. It's down 7% year over year. It's also down 7% from the peak, which was $410,000 last year. And it was that price for April, May, and June last year. Now, it's really interesting comparing Edmonton to Calgary right now and talking to the agents, because in Calgary, things are absolutely bonkers. In Edmonton, not so much. Sales are right around the 5-year average. Obviously, new listings inventory is below, and we are seeing a hotter market in that $300,000 to $600,000 single family market, but it's not the craziness. We're seeing 30, 40, 50 showings and a whole bunch of offers and things selling over asking price. But as is pretty much always the case, not only in any market, but pretty much in any state in Canada, good houses are going to sell quickly. And there is a possibility you're going to face multiple offers in Edmonton, even though things aren't nearly as crazy as Calgary. In Regina, the 283 homes sold a month is actually down 1% from the 5-year average. We'll talk about why in a second. Normally about 290 homes are sold in a month, but the 435 homes newly listed for sale is down 20% from the 5-year average of 540. While the 860 homes currently for sale in Regina is down 32% from that 5-year average. Usually we're close to 1,300 homes for sale in Regina this time of year. So months of inventory is 3, right on that fine line between a seller's and a balanced market. When it comes to home prices, the benchmark price, as I thought it might, pick back up $311,000. That is down 5% from last year. It's down 6% from the peak we saw a year ago, which was $320,000. The lack of homes for sale in Regina continues to be a problem, and it's most acute for those looking for single family homes, especially homes priced between $300,000 and $500,000. You take the southeast side of Regina and just plug in homes for sale, $300,000 to $500,000. There's only 42 single family homes currently for sale, and half of those are new construction homes that are currently under construction but not yet built in the Greens, the Towns, and Eastbrook. The best advice I can give to home buyers right now in Regina is get to listings right away as soon as they hit the market. It's not uncommon for them to get a pile of showings that first night. Sometimes they're even selling the first night. Often they're selling the first couple of days after they hit the market, and multiple offers and homes selling over asking price is becoming far more common. In Saskatoon, there were over 400 homes sold in a month. That's up 5% from the 5-year average of about 390 homes that are typically sold in a month. And the 670 homes newly listed for sale is down 9% from their 5-year average. Usually 740 homes are put up for sale in the month. When it comes to active inventory, there's just over 1,000 homes for sale right now in Saskatoon. That is down 48% from the 5-year average. Usually there's closer to 1,600 homes for sale in Saskatoon right now, so months of inventory is at 2.5 in a seller's market. So when it comes to home prices in Saskatoon, the composite benchmark price is $375,000. That is not only up 2% from last year, it's only down 2% from the peak we saw last year, which was $383,000 in August. Now, typically in Saskatoon, about 50% of all sales happen between $200,000 and $400,000. So it shouldn't be surprising that with how much buyer activity is right now, that's also where we're seeing the most competition. I was talking with real estate agents in Saskatoon. I said, what are the hot neighborhoods right now? And a lot of these are repeats from the previous month: Brighton, Evergreen, Kensington, Lakeview, Stonebridge, Wildwood, Willow Grove, and Rosewood. So if you are looking in those neighborhoods, especially for single family homes, expect to have a lot of competition from other buyers. There's not a lot of choices out there. Seeing multiple offers and home selling over asking is fairly common. Winnipeg had 1,100 homes sold in a month. That is down 19% from their 5-year average. Usually closer to 1,350 homes are sold in a month. And the 2,000 homes newly listed for sale in the month, well, that is up 8% from the 5-year average. Usually about 1,850 homes are put up for sale in the month. When it comes to active inventory, so homes for sale, there's about 3,600 homes currently for sale in Winnipeg. That's up 4% over their 5-year average of about 3,500. So months of inventory is 3.5 Winnipeg. That's been trending though towards a seller's market. As for home prices, the composite benchmark price in Winnipeg is about $340,000 right now. It's down 7% from last year, but it is also down 8% from the peak of $370,000 that we saw in May of last year. Last month, 30% of all the homes sold in Winnipeg saw multiple offers, but most of those offers came with conditions like financing and home inspection. That's in stark contrast to last year, where about 80% of homes that were sold in the same month saw multiple offers, but many of those had no conditions at all. Now, if I just told you that, you would say, hey, it seems like the Winnipeg real estate market has really cooled off. And yes, in comparison to last year, it's cooler. But if you compare it to, say, 2018, 2019, that's more what they would expect to be happening this time of year. And in fact, last couple of months, we're starting to see things pick up momentum in Winnipeg. Hey, so you obviously love learning about Canadian real estate, so subscribe to Bald Prairie Real Estate and join this awesome community. Now let's talk about Toronto real estate. The 7,500 homes sold last month in Toronto was down 9% from the 5-year average of 8,300. That actually sounds a whole lot better than 20, 30, 40, 50% sales were down not that many months ago. But the just over 11,000 homes newly listed for sale is down 28% from the 5-year average. Typically closer to 16,000 homes are put up for sale in a month. And when it comes to active inventory, and this number is starting to get pretty scary, just over 10,000 homes currently for sale in Toronto, down 27% from the 5-year average. Usually about 14,000 homes are for sale this time of year in Toronto. So that means months of inventory is 1.5. When it comes to home prices in Toronto, the composite benchmark price is $1.14 million. That's down 12% year over year. It's also down 15% from the peak of $1.33 million we saw in March of last year, but it's now 4 months in a row that home prices in Toronto have increased. When I was digging through the data and talking to Toronto real estate agents, a couple of things really stuck out to me. The first is that we just seen 2 months in a row where home prices increased by 2% or more. That's unsustainable and it's not going to continue. We typically see this time of year is when home price increases tail off. Sometimes we even see home prices decrease a little bit through the summer, but it's also not uncommon to see home prices start to increase again through the fall. So if we start to see that trend, and I'm thinking we probably will, don't all of a sudden think this is a market reversing course. This seems to be a market that's kind of trending in the way we typically see it this time of year. Another stat I saw was that 57% of all neighborhoods in Toronto are selling for more than asking price right now. That's a pretty high number. And the last little nugget of information that I think is really important for Toronto is looking at that sales to new listing ratio. This basically shows how fast inventory is getting absorbed. And last month was the third highest sales to new listing ratio for the month that we've seen in the last 20 years. The only 2 years that beat that out was 2002 and 2016, both very strong years in the Toronto real estate market. Last year, the same month was actually one of the worst. If you're a buyer in Toronto, I get it. It's getting rather frustrating because not only is it continuing to be harder and harder to buy a house in Toronto, we're now seeing interest rates go up, making mortgage payments more expensive and harder to qualify. Now we're starting to see home prices increasing as well. Stick to your guns, stick within your budget, buy the best house you can at the time available, and don't get emotional. Remember, you're trying to find the right house, not just a house. In Ottawa, there are just under 1,500 homes sold in a month. That is down 20% from the 5-year average of about 1,850. And the 2,100 homes newly listed for sale is down 14% from the 5-year average. Usually about 2,500 homes will be newly listed for sale in the month. When it comes to homes for sale, there's over 2,700 homes for sale right now in Ottawa. That is up 5% over the 5-year average of about 2,400. And when it comes to months of inventory, it's 3.1, right on that fine line between a seller's and a balanced market. As for home prices in Ottawa, $628,000 is that composite benchmark price. That is down 13% year over year. It's down 15% from the peak we saw, which is about $730,000 in March of 2022. When I'm talking to Ottawa real estate agents, they've been telling me for a couple of months now, things are starting to pick up, and we are seeing it in the data now. For the past few months, sales versus the 5-year average, that gap had been widening. We saw a reversal this past month, and I expect that trend to continue, so that gap is probably going to continue to shrink. We are seeing multiple offers starting to become more common. A regular viewer of the channel is actually looking right now to buy a house in Ottawa and has lost out a couple of times in multiple offers, so we are seeing it's far more common. The hot product right now, single family homes between $500,000 and $700,000. In Montreal, the 3,700 homes sold in a month is down 24% from the 5-year average. Usually close to 5,000 homes are sold in the month. And the 5,400 homes newly listed for sale in Montreal is down 2% over the 5-year average, where typically about 5,600 homes are newly listed for sale in the month. And when it comes to homes for sale in Montreal right now, it's about 16,500. That is up 1% from the 5-year average, which is about 16,200. And months of inventory is 4.2, basically right in the middle of a balanced market. When it comes to home prices in Montreal, the composite benchmark price is about $510,000. That's down 7% from last year. It's down 9% from the peak of $555,000 we saw in May of 2022. I said last month that home sales and activity was picking up in Montreal, and that trend continued this past month. If it's a good house, it's probably going to sell well if it's priced well. Now, with fixed rates kind of trending down, there seems to be more buyer confidence, and also buyers have more buying power, and they're more likely to qualify for a mortgage now that those rates have come down a little bit. Right now, Montreal, about 10 to 15% of all homes that are sold are seeing multiple offers, but typically they're selling within about 5% of the asking price. In Halifax, they had 418 homes sold in a month. That is down 14% from last year. The 591 homes newly listed for sale is down 38% from last year, while the 762 homes currently for sale, that is up 115% from last year, but months of inventory is only 1.8. That means Halifax is right now the third lowest inventory in Canada. An average price in Halifax is about $570,000. That is up 3% from last year. It's down 1% from the peak we saw, which is $575,000 in May of last year. In Halifax right now, they're seeing about 50% of all sales where homes are selling over asking price. And this has been true for a couple of months in a row now. So if you're a buyer and you see it, if it's a good house and it's priced well, there's a good chance you're going to see multiple offers and a good chance it will sell over asking price. When I was talking with agents in Halifax, they did mention though that the higher end of the market has started to pick up a little bit of momentum. But if you're looking for some better deals, the smaller communities kind of around the edge of Halifax, that's where things aren't quite as active and prices aren't really increasing very much. If you've made it this far in the video, you clearly love learning about real estate, so why don't you check out this video right here, which is my most recent Canadian real estate news recap, where I break down the most interesting news articles from the past week in the Canadian real estate market. Please though, give this video a like, subscribe to Bald Prairie Real Estate if you haven't already, leave me a comment below, and as always, thanks very much for watching.